Hello, Kawans. Welcome back to Immortal Part 2. Little Cat here, gaming, mastering, hopefully ing well, and actively always fighting with technology as it impedes my storytelling process. Most of the time. With me on this D&D campaign are Mike as Ghost and Joe as Valerius. Not around because of life stuff. Today is Cat. She'll be back next week. Do you know how hard it is to not call Ghost Wendigo out of just habit? Anyway, in session 2, they made it out like bandits. The valuables being Valerius and all the things they managed to pilfer, including the remnants of a decommissioned large automaton and 7 tiny ones. Revelations were made upon arriving back to the hole in the wall everybody seemed fond of calling a war room. But really, it's literally a hole in a rock face that has a makeshift table and stools made out of found rocks, and enough space to sleep comfortably if the need arises. The space is incredibly Spartan, but warm, and sheltered from the vindictive blizzard picking up outside. The same outside Valerius has left to collect his thoughts and hopefully has the wherewithal to return to the warmth of the campment before he freezes to death. Encampment. I don't know what my mouth did just now. Snoopy is brought back to his grim past where his family and village were trampled underfoot by the knowledge and a name. Some unsavory feelings well within him, but is left to his own devices as the siblings chitter amongst one another, reveling in their recent successful liberation of one of their key pieces in their very, very scattered plan. Ghost is still reeling from the speed at which things have happened, still grasping at the morsels of information and coming to terms with centuries of blind seclusion. He feels and sometimes hears the many voices of the past as they wrestle for the second place podium in his mind castle. It's 11 p.m. in Krera, and after a long day, nearly time for a well-needed rest. Is anybody doing anything before we all bed down? And I need to know who's taking the 2 watches. Whether or not you want to take the 2 watches. The first and the last is taken by Byro and Van, respectively.
Uh, Ghost will seek out Valerius outside.
Go ahead. Ghost,
All right.
as
The white
you
mound will rise up and just shuffle outside,
as
looking.
you shuffle outside slowly, the wind that you're so comfortable in starts hitting your face, pelting the fur across your eyes, and you see uh, a lonely Valerius sitting and staring into nothing. Valerius, what are you doing?
Valerius has left most of his armaments and gear back inside the cave, electing to just chuck it as far as he can into a wall. The only thing he has on him at the moment is his pistol holstered at his side and a somewhat disabled floaty in his hand, trying to figure out what the hell has transpired in the past few hundred years.
Okay. Have you tried turning Floaty on?
He hasn't really done it just yet. He's not looking to activate him at the moment.
Okay, make me a perception check.
Okay. I still do this at disadvantage.
I say that, but Ghost, are you being particularly quiet?
I will try a stealth just because a ghost does not really notice sometimes that he's being quiet with what he does.
Okay, go for it.
He's just like a moving white mound that sometimes is suddenly
Stealth
there.
versus perception. Let's go.
I still have disadvantage, so allow me to roll that real quick. 22.
Oh, 22. You just
Yep, you see the white mound.
you at the corner of your eye, you see the lumbering white mound, and the fur is very different from the color of the blizzard that's coming in. So you know exactly what you're looking at. But do you
I
want to
take a-
engage?
I take a moment to take a deep breath and shove whole floaty back into my pocket before I, while not turning to Ghost, just speak aloud. You need something, Ghost? Or Yeah, I'm not sure what to call you right now, actually.
Ghost.
Right. I'll turn around to fully face Ghost as he. I don't know what he's doing right now, but Valerius would just plop down into whatever the fuck's below him and just let out a deep sigh. What?
You're outside in the
I know.
cold.
I know. I thought the cold would jolt some memories back of what happened the past few hundred years. Apparently not.
Has it?
No. I wish it did. I can't remember fully what happened after. The matriarch, I knew she put us to work. I remember seeing Bosk and Gunlog by my side when we were under her control. I don't remember much of what else happened. I know I killed innocent people. Very certain that extends to me, Gunlug, and Bosk as well. He takes a deep sigh and he belligerently just smacks the snow next to him for a moment.
What about it?
I don't feel all right being used, not in control of my actions. I have killed before, don't get me wrong. Both you and I have seen to it before. But this is something different. I've
Oh,
always sorry?
so you'd rather have done it yourself?
No, no. Look, I'm all for killing people who deserve it or whoever is our target assigned by the ages. He had there's a momentary pause in his grief as he registers like, oh yeah, what about the ages? Oh well, I'll come to that bridge when it comes to it. And he goes back to his mopey self. But this is different when Ghost. There's innocent people. I don't know if that concept truly registers in your mind, but I do believe that there are some people who are truly innocent that don't deserve to die, at least not that early anyway. And I have the distinct feeling the matriarch made me kill, and he does air quotations just for the benefit of ghosts, innocent people. That's the thing I have trouble with.
Hmm. What do you mean, innocent?
There's a small chuckle as Valerius like slumps back slightly. It's like, yeah, I kind of figured that that word wouldn't have meaning with you. Like, ghosts, think about it this way. If you're born, you've never killed anything in your life, you've never done wrong, you've never stolen anything, you've never insulted anyone, you've just lived your life as it is, and you've never wished harm among other people, and just live a normal life, I suppose. That's what I call innocent. People just minding their own business, and the matriarch made us kill these people.
Hmm. Ray? Vegetables?
There's a slight stutter as Valerius attempts to register that Wendigo just said vegetables, and Valerius needs a moment to kind of like, like the fuck. Okay, Valerius expects like, well, I guess in your context, prey such as rabbits, birds, deer, and this and the lot are no different than humans or other races, aside the fact that they are probably not too intelligent. if you think about it that way, then I suppose not everyone is truly innocent because we do have to hunt and kill prey animals or other vegetation for our survival. And yeah, that is another thing. But how do I explain this to you in a way that you can understand? Because it's been a few hundred years and you still haven't changed. Valerius lets out a small chuckle as he ponders over the conundrum that presents itself between Ghost and Valerius. The same conversation that they've had like a long time ago regarding the soul transfer project and how it was such a big boon to Valerius, but then Valerius like, no, hell no, fuck that. But yeah. He takes a moment to ponder. In the meantime, he's not sure what Ghost is thinking.
Haven't changed.
Well, I mean, on the inside, I mean, obviously you're not wearing your coat anymore and your fur is white. Not sure whether that means you're older now. Well, of course you're older. It's been a few hundred years, but yeah, you're still the same. He says in a lower voice, the same Wendigo I knew hundreds of
No,
years ago.
Wendigo left.
Valerius stutters for a moment before he looks back up. He's like, so who's here now? Just Ghost?
A ghost of what was here.
I see.
I was the Wendigo's host, and now I am just a ghost. And what was left behind.
What was left behind? Does that also consider memories of me, the Aegis, the rest of the team?
Mhm. And others that aren't mine.
Such as? If you feel
Wendigo wasn't a person, it was a
a
thing.
concept, Valerius
A
interjects
thing.
semi jokingly. He quickly sobers up and he acknowledges Wendigo's response. Ghost's response. A thing. Okay.
I was not the only host or victim that it touched along the way.
I see. That's rather interesting. Is this the result of a curse or powerful magics?
I'm not sure. But I do not hunger anymore.
Oh, that's a relief because, well, to be perfectly honest, me and Gunlock and Bosk always had issues finding you food to eat. Don't get us wrong, it was never a morality issue. It was just hard to find body parts. Oh, I guess if you knew where to look, that's not really too many people you can actually find.
Valerius,
I
make
want
me
other things.
sorry. Valerius, make me like a wisdom saving throw.
When will this nonsense end? Wait, do I get this?
Saving throw is fine, huh?
Oh, okay. See.
Uh,
Oh, it's as good as his con save.
Shut up.
you cracked that joke about not knowing where to find bodies. First flippantly, and then the vision of you looking over a battlefield rife with dead bodies flash across your mind.
There is a disgusted look that crosses Valerius's face for a moment before he semi-seriously but yet also jokingly says that, oh, if Wendigo was still here, he would have a feast for the battlefields in front of us. But
Was
yeah,
it something I said?
no, nothing. Don't worry. It's just like you mentioned, memories, memories of a time long before, memories of a time before you came along. I guess when Wendigo was still with us. Things
You
really
don't
have
like
changed.
that time.
I don't like the time. What do you mean by that?
You don't like that time?
Well, don't like is a strong word. There were parts of it that I enjoyed, parts of which I disliked, parts of which I hated. But there were good times, and I just miss it. That's all.
What did you miss?
Well, for one, the companionship. Me and Gunlock never really saw eye to eye. Well, at least not all the time, but we went through a lot together, and I wouldn't have traded her company for anything else. Well, maybe except my wife's, but she's probably dead. Actually, I would like to make an intelligence check to see whether what I said would be true or false.
About your wife, of which you have
Yep.
none.
Sorry, what?
Out of character, I don't think you married.
Yeah,
right?
you got engaged,
Oh yeah, right.
but you
My
didn't.
fiance then.
Even the fake wedding in your dream didn't happen.
Lamar, I'm not
Like-
referring to whether I got married or not, how many wives I have. I was like, would she still be alive now?
Yeah, make an intelligence check. You know her, so I would say advantage. So make a straight roll.
Okay. Wow, today my rolls suck.
What
What is
happened
this?
to that purge? The purge was okay though. What?
I don't know. What the fuck?
Napuko.
I don't know.
With the 9, you stick to your guns. You're like, nah, there's no way. She was a poorly child. She was a poorly woman growing up, even if she was half elf. Probably not. Are those
Well-
random rolls or?
Oh, I think because I'm navigating around, so I think I clicked it by accident.
Oh,
Ignore.
okay. I thought you were
Okay.
dancing and looking. I don't
Okay.
know. Okay, continue.
Well, Valeria said,
Your
yep.
your wife?
Well, sorry, it's just still reeling back from the visions, I guess. The false visions, I should say. My fiance is probably not alive. She's a half elf, but even now, I don't think her lifespan would have deceived us.
I was told that Bror isn't a city anymore.
What do you mean it's not a city anymore? Is it just gone, as in completely destroyed, or did it lose so much of its structure that it became a town or a village?
Ghost shrugs and says, I think there was a fight there.
Well, no offense, my friend, but I don't think asking you would yield me much answer. So, while I still have the courage to figure out what happened to my home, I'm gonna ask the 3 people inside. He stands up and dusts off the snow from his pants and looks over at Ghost. Would you care? Yep.
Make me a Constitution saving throw because you've been sitting outside for quite a while.
Okay. Y'all
20,
why
okay, okay.
now?
Okay, so you get up, you shake your legs and arms a bit, get some blood back into your extremities as you realized they're kind of almost getting to a frozen point. You slap your cheeks a bit and make
Oh
your way
boy,
inside.
frostbite.
No,
look
you
over
don't
at-
get frostbite.
I look at Wendy. Look at Ghost before heading back in and offer him like a small smile. Well, Four Oats, would you like to join me again, old pal?
Well, you have a better idea of what to do than those two.
Valerius chuckles. Just like, uh, and here we, and back then, 100 years ago, I would be the last person you look to for a plan. Come on, big guy, let's get inside.
Hmm.
You walk
Ghost
in.
plots back in.
Both of you
And
come back
I
in.
would like to say that for Ghost, like when he plots, he's this white shambling little mound, which is in complete contrast to Battle when he moves really fast.
A hill just glides over.
How would you say um ghost ghost mannerisms and gait look to Valerius? Like, does it look calm, collected?
It's hard. It's not really possible to see his face at the moment beneath all the fur, but he kind of shambles around like a sort of like a giant white ape sometimes, or a yeti, without seeming to have a care in the world. But it's hard to say like whether it's calm or collected, or if there's other things going on under the surface. But when he's moving fast, he gets on all fours again and sprints.
Okay, okay. Both of you.
So you get like the polar bear. It's like difference between walking polar bear and charging polar bear.
Fucking terrifying.
A walking polar bear is a bad time.
Yes.
Oh. Anyway, you get back in, and the siblings are already preparing their bedrolls. I say that, but Van is taking the first watch, so she's sort of shoving her brother into one of the bedrolls, telling him to go to sleep. Because if he doesn't sleep, they're just going to keep talking until morning, and she has to keep watch. The fire is still lit, and she's carefully minding it.
I'm sorry, what's the name of the male sibling again?
Biro. Biro.
Okay, thank you. I'll take a seat next to the fire opposite of Van and just offer greetings before asking a question. Van, I remember earlier that you guys mentioned that Bror was no longer a town. Could you clarify what you guys meant by that?
She looks at you. She has hands around a warm cup of something. You're not sure what it is. She goes, "Oh, Bo city, as far as I know, hasn't been a city for very long. If Papa has told me quite rightly, it actually fell about maybe a decade after the matriarch took over."
A decade?
I wasn't there, so I personally wouldn't know the full story, but that's what I've been told anyway.
Uh, when the city fell, were there survivors? Did
She,
anyone called themselves the Rikers escape, formed another village somewhere or something?
let me make a roll for her. Let's go. Eh.
At least she's making these straight rolls and not disadvantage checks.
Okay, not bad. She make me an insight check.
With disadvantage. God fucking damn it.
GG, it's just
Fucking hell, of course the first roll is a 20. Valerius is just useless today.
feels bad, man. Feels bad. Not useless, just under capacity at the moment. You watch her face as you ask about whether or not there were any what was it? Any survivors, and her eyes glazed over as if considering that for a moment, but that's all you get. And then you mentioned something about the records, and she rolled pretty well. She thinks about it and she goes, Wikers. Why does that ring a bell?
To possibly aid in her memory, Valerius will very quickly reach behind him and pull out his old tablet, switch it on, revealing the Riker logo, and show it to her. They
Okay.
bear this symbol, if it helps.
Post it on the group, on the Roll20 chat. I think you can /image or something like that. I forgot what the thing is, but you can also explain what it looks like.
Oh god. Hang on. How do I? Someone give me the command to put that image in. I'll go find the link.
Somebody Google it. I'll. So basically, she looks at this thing while it is going to be shown on screen eventually when we find the command. Thanks, Will20. She scrutinizes it, tilts from side to side, but is more thinking about the name. Leica. What does that? Hang on, I remember now. It's not the Wikers, it's, well, how do you spell it?
Ryker.
Right. So, a few years after the matriarch took over, there were people, although not Rikers per se, but more strikers, or variations of, from what I heard.
What?
They tried to escape and help, if I'm not mistaken. But again,
That did not work.
Most of the stuff is what Papa told me. And she gets like glossy-eyed for a moment thinking of her Papa. I should ask him about this Riker, or strikers, or variations of what happened to them. But yeah, then,
Why is it so important?
well, it is good to find out your curiosities in general. It's not good to keep all your questions in your head all the time. And when you know, you can just let it go.
I'm sorry. Give me one moment. I am trying to get the image up.
Technical difficulties, of which I shall also try and figure this shit out.
Ah!
I found it in Discord. It's easier.
Oh, because the stream can see it now.
Yes.
Okay.
There we go.
So now
That's the
the
Riker
stream
logo.
suddenly Roll20 and that logo. So that's the logo. It's a diamond with a
tie
pendulum.
with a
A
necktie.
pendulum, yeah. With a necktie. Yeah, technically you're not
With a
wrong.
it's a necktie. It's, oh my god, it's a terrible necktie.
Oh my god. Okay, but yes. Wait, so Van, let me clarify with you one more time. The Rikers went out to help people
She nods.
for free?
Well, I don't know. As far as I know, growing up, yes? Were they not supposed to be free?
Valeris's brain has short circuited hearing his capitalist family company has turned a new leaf for the greater good. And the fuck?
It is definitely a conundrum to you as you think about it. But so many things has happened today that you're not able to wrap your head around it yet. Maybe when
Where-
you consolidate after a few days. Go ahead.
All right, Van. Do you know, or did your papa ever tell you where their camp was? If there is even one these days.
She shakes her head. Every time I wanted to talk about, you know, the freedom fighters and breaking out of this hellhole that we live in, Papa would smile and wave and divert my attention somewhere else. I don't think he really wants me to pursue the course of action they're pursuing. Now, I think he just wants us to be safe. But also, he's been living a very long time, so I understand how he might want the world to leave him alone.
As much as I hate to ask this, but would you be willing to facilitate a meeting?
I can send him a
Is
missive. And then she turns to a ghost. Like, suddenly, like, oh, I didn't realize you were there. Like, what the fuck?
Wait, is there?
So is he still around?
Oh, yes. Very much so. He lives with my mum and dad. And they sort of hidden, sequestered themselves away from prying eyes, you know, just living their best life.
How long have? How old are your parents, if you don't mind me asking?
Mum is in her 40s. Dad is in his 40s. Papa is, and then she pauses for a really long time. I don't know.
Is Papa human?
No, Papa is my father. A reminder again that she's half dwarf.
Ah, right.
And Dad is his father. She points to the now snoring
What?
bureau, who is a tiefling.
Oh, right. I forgot they're different parents. My bad. Continue.
Tieflings beget tieflings. That is the law.
Oh, they have a safe house.
You can say that. I have to send him a letter before I say anything else because they kind of like their seclusion. Although Papa does go out to sell his wares, he's I guess you could say he does the potions thing. Somebody called him a witch. He
You
laughed.
mean an apothecary?
Sort of. But also, and then she whispers to both of you, he also does poisons.
So he's an alchemist. Interesting.
Yes, that's the word.
Potions are poisons.
Technically, she furrows her brow
Larry
like
stops
Perhaps-
laughing.
too much of a tincture of wolfsbane would poison you. You're right. I should. Yes.
I mean, Wendigo, if you think about it hard enough, if you drink too much water, you get water poisoning.
Her eyes go
Not
wide,
Wendigo.
So,
and
sorry.
and she's like, "Wait, did you just say if you drink too much water, you can get poisoned?"
Yes, as I was explaining, yeah, if you drink too much water, you get water poisoning. A good friend Bosk warned us of the fact that overhydration can lead to poisoning.
Overhydration. Wild. She brings out a notebook and starts scribbling. Too much water equals death.
Maybe
How much
that's
water
the
exactly?
Most,
Do you know?
I'm sorry, but my friend Boss she would know. Unfortunately, I tinker with equipment more. As a point of reference, he picks up his helmet and gives it a toss into the air. This is my specialty. Not flesh and blood, unfortunately. If you find her, we can ask her together.
Well, I was hoping that, my brother and I aren't used to this kind of escapades. We're usually sort of in the background. It's, one day I woke up and decided, let's go, let's help. My brother is very against it. He's more like Papa than his dad.
Well, regardless of what reasons you had to help out, I'm deeply appreciative. Wouldn't be here otherwise. So thank you.
With the appreciation, I was hoping that you might stick with us for a while to find your two other friends.
Valerius gives a shrug and a small smile. It's not like I have anything better to do. Besides, I feel like the way going forward at the moment is probably getting more information from people that have lived through the wars. Currently, your parents are the only ones that come to mind.
She nods. I
Here's
heard.
an idea.
Hmm? I'm listening.
Let's visit Bror.
That's a okay. Before I follow up that question, Ghost, Valerius like keys up his tablet and opens back the old map of Korea from like hundreds of years ago, and
Yayers.
points. Yeah, shut up. Hundreds of years ago, and points to the city of Bror. So this is Bror as we know it. Where are we at the moment, actually? And he
She looks
hands
at your
the
map.
tablet.
Um, she she seems very unperturbed by the fact that you took out tablet. Like, this is normal. And
That's
she
good.
brings out a similar map.
Is it also a
But
tablet?
it is not a tablet. It's
Okay.
paper, which is more resilient and does not need power. Don't need the charger, No 20% battery here. And hers seems to be very tattered, but also very, very super not detailed. The outline is there, but what you remember of and what you compare with your map, the state lines are gone. There's a lot of sparse land. She shows you the map, and it seems clear. And then she goes, I could, well, my brother and I have a different map that we sort of keep because it has certain settlements that would rather not be known. But I can show you this one, and you can have it as well.
Oh, that's fine. Give me one moment. Just hold it there for me, please. Thank you. As
She
Valerius like
holds it.
stands up and just like pulls the tablet back and clicks a button aside, and there's this flash of light. As Valerius takes a photo.
Click. She blinks once or twice. She's like, in this time of night, sure. And you see her blink a few times as she's like,
My
that
apologies.
square thing. Now there's 3 of them just floating across. My eyes. Her eyes are still closed, and you can see her eyeballs sort of move down as she's following the floating lights.
I'm so sorry.
Ghost will lean over as this is happening to look at the map. And the first thing he's looking for on her map is the last place he remembered a certain gnome to be.
Last place he remembered a certain gnome to be. The last place you remember
Lily.
the gnome was in a safe hold somewhere in the mountains, not here. Otherwise, it's the city of Roar. You roughly know where it is on the map, but the demarcation lines are gone. Also, she points out where you are answering your question. If I can find my what's it on the map. Viewers, you will not see this because it is kind of not important in the moment. But I will show you later. Okay, later. I promise. You are somewhere here. Can you see the red dot? Ching.
The one right below Chestant?
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
And this is shocking to you because if you remember Chestant last time, you were awake. And Wendigo, if you remember Chestant last time you traversed the place, it was not covered in ice and snow. There were trees and glades. It was cold, but not like this. Not arid. Not. This is Locklear. You're pretty sure this is Locklear.
There's a paw. Wait.
I thought we were here. And he'll point on the map to Locklear.
I do the same. I nod fervently.
Okay.
Aren't we in
If
Locklear?
we move.
She realizes again that you both are out of time and out of space. And she goes, well, as far as I know, things changed a lot ever since the matriarch took over. And then she points to the former Ice Root College. This is the Ice Root City. It's one of the most protected locations in Kreira. It is also the main city of Kreira. It's you can't get into it.
Why not?
Well, only the best, the brightest, and everyone who wants to kiss the matriarch's ass can go in or stay in. Personally, I don't want to be there. But it is warm. And this is shocking for both of you. Like, what the fuck?
Oh my god.
That was the college.
As far as I'm concerned, they called it the college once upon a time. I don't know why.
It was a college.
It
Yes,
was?
it was a college. A very reputable college, actually.
She listens.
Valerius were now info dump.
You
but
tell,
I'm not gonna info dump.
Yeah, you tell her about. Do you tell her about that time you went to the college to break in?
I'm gonna omit that for now.
Okay, you tell her that it's a very illustrious college. It was backed by a certain noble house, and she was like, nod. I understand, noble house. Yes, there was the Ethilds, there was the Zarahas, and so on and so
Only
forth.
bad people came out from it.
She nods, and I'm like, as it stands, only bad people live there. So, yes. I personally don't like the place because it gives me the heebie-jeebies, and I have a feeling that if you're shocked that this area is now a frigid wasteland, it has something to do with that. And then she makes like a very rough area sketch of this whole place, and she takes out almost half of Locklear in a circle. This entire space is, I guess Papa would call it climate controlled. He used to say that the city of Bro used to have a city center with a 2-kilometer sort of radius where it was just warm and lush. But here it's the whole thing. It's the entire circle. So they have like a gated community where the castle is. And then outside is some farms. But to be honest, I've never been there because every time anybody goes near, we get chased out or murdered. I would rather have my life, thank you.
Why so surprised? Valerius.
The magic that Bro used to climate control the city was cutting edge. It took years, decades even, for the best mages, sorcerers, wizards to craft it, to intertwine its magic with Riker technology working alongside it. How did they manage this?
Once something is done, it can be copied.
I get that. It's just the scale of it is huge.
Tell me, this is purely out of curiosity, and I understand if you don't feel like telling stories, but what was it like back then? Like the city of Brawl. My papa didn't really want to tell stories because it made us, or he said it made us want for the past instead of looking into the future.
Well,
Go there, I will show you.
that's
Um,
probably for the better.
it's good that you said that, but I think it would be good for us to get to bed. We'll continue this tomorrow morning over breakfast.
Sounds good.
Mm.
You're taking first watch, I presume?
I'm taking first watch. My brother will be taking the last watch. We've got two in between.
Does she have a blanket with her?
Second.
She does have a blanket with her.
I
Thank you.
would
Ghost.
gingerly reach over and just mouth "excuse me" and touch the blanket. Prestige, warm blanket.
Warmth. You can see her just turtle into the blanket as she gets warmer. Like after a while, barely her eyes are peeking out of the blanket, and she's like, it's. Thank you.
So you're welcome. I'm gonna go get some sleep. Good night, Ghost. And Valerius like hunkers down with no bedroll because he doesn't have one.
He can borrow he can borrow. They're bedrolls. They're bedrolls. Let's just say they're
Okay.
bedrolls. You're in a
Awesome,
war
I'll pull
room.
a bedroll.
It's fine. Spare rolls.
Ghost will turn into like a mound of white snow or so and just like lounge near the entrance.
Ghost is helping to block the wind. Taking third watch will be Mensum. First watch happens. Ghost, as the second watch comes in, you get roused by Van, who thanks you for taking over as she quickly goes to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
I would say
Mhm.
nothing special happens unless you have ideas of what you want to do during your watch.
Well, because monks have this cool thing where they can trade key points to regain health. So like, and key points come by the short rest. So we'll just say like he just regenerates himself over time.
Slowly, your wounds start scabbing, and the scabs fall off your skin quickly to be replaced by hair. It's as if nothing happened to you yesterday. But at the same time you're doing this, as you're uh, sort of in your mind healing yourself, you feel voices that were previously quiet or pushed back. A silent minority. They don't assert themselves yet, but you feel like they might have something to say, just are unsure. The louder voices around
So-
you fight.
He will respond in his mind. Out with it. It's a long day.
A protective voice of an older woman begins a conversation with you. She is tentative because she knows it's night. She tells you that she's pleased to have other people around. It's a while since she's had to spend time with any family, any community, and seeing the siblings makes her smile. She remembers her children. And you feel another voice behind her just peeking over her shoulder, agreeing with her. But this one, a younger woman. You feel this younger woman just full of love. And you watch these two with your mind's eye in your mind castle. And you start to wonder what innocence is. Just thinking back to what Valeria said. Are they vegetable?
No, they just minded their own business. Never learned self-defense properly. Things happen.
The older voice scoffs at what you just said and said that she did learn self-defense, just not against what the Wendigo was. But that's maybe for tomorrow. It's late. And you feel both of the voices recede into the background.
He will take watch until it's time to wake up Manson.
Okay. It goes by very fast. You're very used to this. In fact, how are you negotiating time now that you're quote unquote awake or awakened?
So Ghost is still in his lump form watching the entrance. Maybe just two bluish eyes looking out. And he simply just lets time pass, barely seeming to breathe.
And time
He's
does
able
pass.
to distance his mind for things.
Time does pass. You're not sure if it's you or if it really was 2 hours, but it's time to wake Mensum up. It's time for you to sleep.
How far away is Manson?
He's actually sleeping at the side of the cave mouth, ever ready.
One very long arm will stretch out from the snow mound and stretch all the way and tap him on his shoulder.
Mensum does not freak out. He very gently and quietly, as if he has been trained to do this, raises one eyelid open without moving, checks the tap, realizes it's you, and then starts moving properly. He brings down his face covering and thanks you for waking him up. He'll take it from here.
And the snow mound goes back down.
Eventually, day breaks. It's the next morning. Both of you awaken. Actually, all four of you awaken to the sight of John. Just simple John. Just a guy. Sitting at one of the seats with a carafe of coffee in front of him, ready to serve the rest. But who you don't see is Mensum and Snoopy. They were quiet last night, but they seem to have left you to your own devices this time. At least left you with John. Just John. John clears his throat. Well, hi. It's me again. Snoopy sort of left me here as like a talking letter. I hope you're all okay. I hope you all slept well. But they've gone back to the village and will meet us wherever we are. I'm just gonna be over here. And then he takes a cup and shuffles to the corner. In the meantime,
Your
the two...
village.
My
It is secret.
He nods. Well, remember when we took you there last time? We did have to take a roundabout way, but they're going by themselves, so they don't have to go the roundabout way, so they'll be quick. But we'd rather keep it a secret forever. Wendigo, you remember in the village itself, it's predominantly male, but there were a few mothers with very young children, infants, in fact. You see, my boss has a habit of adopting kids and mothers. I don't pry, personally. I help where I can. It's not much, but, you know, we do what we do.
Keep doing it.
He nods. Just letting you know that I will not be traveling with you. I don't think I'm gonna be that much help. But I'll stay here with you, like, if you want some snacks. And he pulls out, various rations. They mostly look like dried mushrooms. Like bits of dried mushrooms. They're really good. We grow them ourselves.
Ghost will sniff, and then he will offer some to Valerius if he's awake.
Valerius has Floaty in one hand. With his other hand, he will grab a mushroom, pop it into his mouth without a second thought, and continue tightening like some screws on Floaty before hitting the activation button.
Okay. Make me... What shall you make? Make me an
Reduce one
Arcana check.
Okay.
You've got 1 point of exhaustion left, right?
Yeah.
27. 27. God damn. As you tinker, you realize Floaty's voice box, his speakers, has been removed.
Is this not like a quick fix thing that I can just freaking mending?
It's not broken. It's completely removed.
Damn it! I have to make a new one after this.
You can. It's relatively simple, but I will say that it's going to take you like 8 hours.
That's fine. I want my R2D2 simulator back.
Okay. You turn it on and it's silent.
My child, can you hear me?
It floats up to your eye level.
Okay, you can hear me.
In agreement, it moves from side to side very melodiously. There's no sound. It's just like, it looks like it's dancing and agreeing.
Okay, that's cool. All right, you're still the same floaty I know, right?
Again,
Bob once for yes and Bob twice for no.
It sort of looks at you and bobs once, but because it's floating, the bobbing doesn't really... You're not sure where the bobbing stops.
It's fine. Okay, can I do something really, really stupid?
Go for it.
I'm gonna grab him,
Uh-huh.
just without the care, like how I used to treat him. Just grab him, and then pull out a small bell that I have and remove the part that bangs against the outer wall of the bell. And I am
The
going
clap.
to, yeah, the clack. Thanks. I'm going to attach that to the bottom of Floaty. It's like, okay, now, and I'll let him go after I've attached it. Now, hit yourself against the floor for once for yes, twice for no. Me just telling my child to abuse himself to answer my questions.
Wow. Floaty. Let me make a D20 roll. Okay. This Floaty has the wherewithal to not smash himself into the floor. Instead, goes to the side of the table, and in response to your demand, does a single ting by just gently hitting the side of the table and then moving
Okay.
away before a second ting hits.
Okay, awesome. I'll like walk up to him, just like sayang the top of his head for me. It's like, okay, good boy.
Respond.
I'll fix your voice box later.
Excitedly, like it's not even a 1-2 ting. It's like ting 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 ting.
Okay, good.
Oh,
Awesome.
it's back.
There's a small grin on Valerius's face, and he looks over and goes, "What? You don't like my pet? The one that constantly screams in your ear?"
Okay, both of you don't need to make any checks to look up and see the two siblings look at Floaty like, what is that? It's so cute.
It makes noise.
And that noise was what pulled their attention, because previously they were just talking. They were just talking, enjoying the coffee, there's some mushroom snacks. And now there's a ting 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 ting. And then Biro comes by and goes, "Pardon me, but what is that?"
Oh, this is my familiar. And I'll show Floaty. This is everyone. Everyone, this is Floaty. Floaty has aided us in the past, acting as a bug on the wall,
Ting,
helping us listen into enemy information, scouting
ting,
for us. He got shot once.
ting,
He almost became horse food once.
ting,
He hates horses with a flaming passion.
ting,
if I
ting, ting, ting,
recall.
ting, 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 ting.
Yes, this is Floaty. He is going to help us, aren't you?
Ting.
Awesome.
That's fascinating. A familiar, you say? I've seen vague creature familiars, but never one so shiny. You see him sort of walk around Floaty, look at the top, look at the bottom,
Oh, that's because he's a construct.
like the thing we fought.
Kind of. I can't really agree or disagree with that because I don't know exactly how those constructs are powered, but Floaty is, well, in my terms, a robot. Wait, are you a robot?
Floaty is like Floaty's stunned. He's just like, you've seen Floaty do this before. Make me an insight check.
Okay. Where the hell is the inside check button? Oh,
All you know is you've seen Floaty do this before, except now this time I think you broke him because he's just
Nice.
he's just floating there. It's just like no response.
I'll wave my hand in front of his camera. You okay there, bud? I can't hear you, so
He's just spaced out at the moment. Also, I would like to add that you've essentially given Floaty a pair of balls.
yeah, I know.
You know
Anyway.
those balls that people attach to trucks? That's
Yeah,
what you
I know.
did.
All right, right now since he's not responding, Valerius is just gonna snag Floaty out of the air, turn him around, flip the on-off switch and let him float again.
Reboot. Yeah. Now Floaty is just floating casually.
Okay, floaty. Hold still for a moment. I'll address the rest of the group. Guys, give me a minute while I make sure all the systems are functioning. Me pulls out a tablet.
Take your time.
Floaty, enter sentry mode, please. Sorry, security camera mode, and I'll just like jump by him a bit higher up into the air.
He finds a comfortable location where he can feasibly see every part of the cave. And then sort of power down is not the word, but you see it slow down and become still as an image pops up on your tablet.
Ah, perfect. This is still working. Microphone test. Can I still hear it, or is it just audio? Sorry, is it just visible?
You get feedback. After a while, it's like, "Ee!"
Okay, I gotta fix the sensors then. Okay, Floaty, come back here.
The video feed disappears and Floaty flies back towards you.
Okay, Valerius pulls out the remnants of the bell and stands at the mouth of the cave. Floaty, take a shot. Shoot the bell, please.
Okay, make me attack roll for Floaty.
Okay. 13.
13. The bell is very, very small, and the outside is very, very windy. So that misses.
But the cannon still functions, yes?
Cannon still functions. It shoots into nothing, and then both the siblings go, maybe don't shoot outside, because whatever your Floaty shot was quite bright and might call attention to this location.
Valerius kind of forgets that, oh yeah, there's a war going on outside. My bad. Yeah, that won't happen again.
Don't
He
worry,
quickly-
you've just woken up.
He puts the bell back on and he like walks back up to Floaty. Okay. Besides the voice box and your speakers, everything seems to be working. I take
It
another cursory
seems-
look. Is his microphone system on so that, or is it still enabled? I should say.
The microphone that you use to capture the sound of the room, right? The
Yeah.
cave. It is on. It's also quite sensitive, which is why you got feedback. You know when
okay.
sound goes out of the speaker into your microphone, then goes back into the speaker?
Yep.
I mean, yeah, you understand what I mean, right?
Yep. All good. All right. So there shouldn't be any more issues. Okay. I'll grab him and walk up to Ghost. 4 times 6, yeah? And puts him on Ghost's shoulder.
All right. What now?
About that, we cannot stay here for long, and I doubt it's going to take them a long time to figure out that we busted him out. So we should get moving. I've got a few secure places that we might be able to parlay safety for maybe 3 or 4 days before we have to keep moving to keep them safe. I can't tell you exactly where, purely because I kind of need them to trust you first. It's a
Valerius
whole
will give
chicken and
nod.
egg thing.
Valerius will give a nod before turning over to Ghost. That sound good with you?
I like to go to Brawl.
We can definitely go there. There is a place we can stay in what used to be Brawl. I do think you should brace yourself. It's going to be a while before we get there. Probably a couple of weeks of travel. Safely. But we'll get there.
Valerius, while everyone's having this conversation, while they're figuring out what to do, Valerius will remember that, oh yeah, he picked up a bag of holding that wasn't his from the place. He's gonna open it.
It is yours, technically, so...
I mean, like, he doesn't recall having this particular bag of holding.
I mean, What does it look like? What did yours look like, and what does this one look like?
The old one that he had was like a very nice canvas line Riker symbol emblazoned bag. It was the company bag of holding,
It's the
basically.
company bag. You also had a pocket of holding.
Ah, yes, I also had a pocket of holding. Thank you for reminding me. Do I still have that? Is that still on me?
No,
Shit.
it's been 250 years, brother.
Sad life. Okay. He opens the bag of holding and is like, okay, what's in here? I wonder.
Aside from your armor and stuff that you actually are supposed to have that is in your inventory right now, nothing much.
So-
You flip it out.
Okay, so I have, just to reiterate, just to confirm, I have the cloak of eyes, the whatchamacallit, the flying rug.
Yes. Oh yeah, that
And-
does take a while for you to knock out of the bag of holding
Ah, okay.
because it's rolled
And-
up and it's kind of hard for you to roll it back in. So it was just like you flip the bag of holding upside down, knickknacks fall out, especially a big chunky diamond, and then a rug, like the circle of a rug, just gets stuck and you have to sort of pull it out like struggling Mary Poppins.
Valerius does not recognize anything else beyond the armor, so he's gonna take the time while everyone is doing this to cast fucking identify as a ritual because
Okay.
he doesn't know what the hell just came out.
So tell me what you have.
So first of all, he pulls out this cloak that has. Actually, what does cloak of eyes look like to you in your game? Is it just like a literal eyes on a cloak, or is it just like embroidered eyes on a cloak?
Okay, so outside of the cloak is relatively tame. Relatively tame in that it is a darker mirror copy of the inside lining of the cloak, which is just stacks and stacks and stacks of peacock feathers. The eyes of the peacock feathers.
Huh, interesting.
The inside lining of the coat is iridescent.
Does Valerius know what this is even without making an identify check? Due to him being an artificer?
I know Valerius is like, oh my god, it looks fancy. But why is it fancy inside?
Huh, interesting. Valerius does okay. He will identify all of this. He picks up the giant diamond. He's like, huh, I don't recall using this as my armor's power supply. I'll attempt to make an Arcana check to figure out whether this is the standard type of gem I use, or is it innately magical in nature?
You don't have to make an Arcana check because you inherently know that this is a magical gem. You just can't remember what for. This isn't your typical diamond that you can cast Revivify or Raise Dead or whatever with. This is way more important than that.
Valerius is holding on to this. He's like, huh, I'm gonna incorporate this in my armor. And then last but not least, he looks at the rug on the floor. Why do I have a carpet?
Everybody looks at you like, if we could answer that.
Before Valerius actually embarrasses himself further, he's gonna flip the carpet around to see if there's any runes on it.
Looks like a very elaborate 3x4, very lush, strangely clean carpet.
Valerius is looking at this carpet and he's like, why would the matriarch give me a carpet? Was I just
you
a
make
dog
it?
to her? No, I did not. I don't remember making this. Even if I did, I don't make cloth. I make armor. What? He's gonna identify this.
Okay. You spend
10 minutes.
all right. Speaking of that, why don't
Oh,
y'all
yeah.
roll your d20s to see if you give problems to yourself?
Oh, thank God!
Ghost as well, please. That is a roll. Yeah. 17, big. Okay, nothing. You feel great. You feel great. You feel well rested.
While Valerius is looking over his items, Ghost is looking over the map and trying to look at where they are in Cheston, inverted commas, and try to think of how to get to Brawl from here.
Okay, you look at the map. At the same time, Biro is looking at you, looking at the map, so he approaches you and he's like, suffice it to say, we won't be taking a straight route just in case anybody will be following us. We will be taking a less straightforward route, stopping by some settlements along the way, hopefully getting pollents from them, getting a place to stay, getting warmth, and pretty much introducing Valerius to them so that they would not be scared, because some of them were harassed, to put it mildly.
Interesting.
Do we have to show Valerius?
I'm afraid that would be good for morale.
Valerius will make it
Because-
a point to not wear his matriarchy-fied armor in front of them.
Hmm.
Do you say that out loud?
No, that's just Valerius in his brain, like, oh, I better not fucking wear that.
Okay. Good. GG's.
I
GG's.
have time. I have patience. I can show you how to dig an igloo.
One of the old Patterson Wendy igloos, eh? Fortunately, Gunlock isn't here, and now she could have just whipped us up a tiny hut.
That would actually be really good for the days that we don't have any place to stay, given the situation. But I do
Hilarious.
insist.
We make
Sorry?
do. We make do.
We do make do. Wendigo, you feel the two women's voices in the back of your mind again. This time they seem excited.
Hmm. We're
You-
traveling.
You sort of give them a passing glance mentally, and you hear the words people. And then you start picking out the words of civilization, community, and the question about whether her kids made it. You understand this, but
Hmm.
as quickly as the thoughts invaded your mind, they pull back. And then you are brought back to the task at hand, which is Biro explaining, we're roughly going to be going in this particular direction, and then we'll zigzag towards here, laying low for a while, probably iglooing, and then we'll go back here. He's just like pointing here, there, and eventually you'll get to the city of Roar.
Ghost
Again-
will try to commit as much as possible to memory in case anything happens with your guide.
Okay, make me a history check as far as memory goes.
Okay. Oops, I closed the sheet. Give me a second.
Take your time. $20. Can you write in your sheet that every time you want to do like a survival check to get to the city of Bror, give yourself advantage?
Okay. I will do.
Okay? So that when you roll, because you committed this to memory, sort of. You're not sure where the settlements are, though. But you're pretty sure along this route, there will be several.
Yeah, he's just keeping himself on a need-to-know basis.
But you can also see that, and it's very hard to hide this, Biro is very excited to be traveling out. I I don't know if we can stay here for long. And then he takes a glance at John, and John's like, "Oh no, man, you can stay here for as long as you want. I guess maybe maximum of like 2 days, and then you're gonna have to leave. I don't know. I don't make the rules."
Let's get going soon.
He
Now.
nods. We can't really give you anything, but I'm sure my boss will meet up with you with some stuff, I guess. And then he goes back to nursing his coffee, still hot.
I don't need anything.
Is
No,
10 minutes up
yes.
yet?
10 minutes, yes, I'm gonna say yes.
Okay. Do I find out that this is a flying carpet?
Yes.
Valerius would get on the carpet and say the command word while still inside the cave.
You can choose how high. You can have it hover an inch above ground if you feel like
Nah.
it. You feel very in tune with it.
3 feet.
3 feet off the ground, it floats, and you see Van's eyes go wide again. Make me an insight check and make me a wisdom save.
Oh god. Why?
I will tell you in a bit.
5.
Insight is 5. You just see her
Wisdom
eyes go
save.
wild. Wisdom save 19. You do not get any harrowing flashbacks.
Alright.
You just feel very comfortable.
Yeah. This feels great. I'm gonna just go around in circles in the cave for a minute.
As the Arabian Nights music plays in the background. No, I'm kidding. That doesn't happen.
Ghost will pipe up and say, "Oh, that's why you're not good at moving around."
I look
Slender.
at Ghost with the most incredulous look on his face. He's like, I swear, I will pump you full of lightning one of these days.
If anybody looks at John, he has a shocked Pikachu face. He's like,
Well, I am ready to leave whenever you are ready, Ghost. As Valerius fastens the cloak of eyes over his shoulders and tucks the diamond into a pouch.
Oh, he's ready. He gets down on all fours and starts lunging out of the cave.
Valerius just sits on the carpet and wills it to follow him to not leave tracks.
the lunging happens, and then you see Van, who's already packed, turn around and say, "Wait, my brother hasn't finished packing yet."
Oh, wait, hold up. Ghost, wait. Turn back around.
The fiasco sort of happens, and then eventually you do move out.
I have a quick
With-
question.
with the
Mechanically
sheepish hero.
speaking, can Valerius open the portable hole on the flying carpet and store things like a car?
The carpet is only 3x4. Portable hole, you need 6 feet.
Ah, shit. Okay, never mind.
Also, hi Ben.
Oh, hey
Hi,
Ben, what's
Ben.
up? Ben, why you no join? Actually, I know the reason. I'm just saying it sarcastically.
He's in Gladagaskar.
Gladagaskar for now. Huh?
Anyway, you travel and travel and travel.
I would like to make constant perception checks with Floaty giving me advantage on the help action, so I just make a normal check.
Sure.
God damn it!
How? How are your rolls so horrible?
I don't understand. What is this?
What actually is happening? I can't even say like you need to sage your dice. Like you need to mandi bunga, bro. Ghost is dancing again.
Ghost will simply just blend in against the snow as he can.
Okay. That would be a stealth.
Okay.
Surprising enough, Valerius still sees it.
11 again. Yeah, so with the help of Biro, you actually travel quite speedily. And eventually that perception check is kind of rubbish. So, Ghost, make me a perception check.
Okay.
Valeris is just useless today.
13. I like that your natural one is also a 13. Wild. Super wild. Anyway, give me a second because stuff happens, but you guys do not see it.
We are too blind.
You're not blind, you're just particularly focused elsewhere.
Mhm.
Okay.
I just want to take this time to point out that to me, to Valerius, fucking Wendigo just looks like a giant Samoyed.
Massive self-pointed. Okay. While you guys are walking, taking time to not call attention to yourself, hiding in shadows and crevices along rock faces, quietly scurrying. Occasionally, Bureau will look up, check the area for any flying things, any watching things. So far, you seem safe. A few times he is unsure and he casted Pass Without a Trace, giving you all a more comfortable travel pace for an hour before that goes away.
Just in case there's invisible creatures, robe of eyes let me see them up to 120 feet.
Yep. Robe of Eyes also if it's
Yeah.
good luck. Ha ha ha. But it's already bright, so I'm gonna say you're comfortable with it. Did you wear this before leaving the cave to attune?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Far into the distance, the siblings shush both of you, and you see a motion to stop.
Valerius wheels the carpet to float lower.
Okay.
Can-
Ghost will freeze in spot, which just looks like a mound of snow just stopped moving.
You see Biro point two fingers at his eyes and then point to a direction. There seems to be, now that you've been drawn attention to it, there seems to be two creatures crouching on their hands and feet, seemingly stuck in place, but moving, whispering to each other.
How far are they away?
They're about 120 feet.
Valerius pulls out his spyglass.
Okay. What are you doing?
But I'm so sorry. I would like to activate my armor stealth system first before pulling out the spyglass.
Sure.
I will now make a stealth check.
Okay.
27.
Very good.
Okay, I pull out the spyglass and I try to figure out what the fuck am I looking at.
Okay. The 27 helps in directing your spyglass to where they are without pulling the reflection of the sun on them. You watch them slowly. They do seem to be whispering to each other. They seem quite tense. Make me an insight check.
Why? Why is it always the inside checks?
Because you're watching people.
Oh.
11
Okay. Oh, yeah. 11
is something.
is better than 10. They look stressed out. They look stressed out, and with your passive perception, you find them looking forwards. And then when you look in that direction, about 30 feet away, you see a crack in the ground. And from where you're sitting, you think that that crack in the ground is actually some kind of crevasse that extends 10 feet.
I look back towards where
When you say two creatures, are they like humanoid?
Yeah, they
or
are
what?
humanoid. Valerius, you can let Valerius will let the gang know that they look like a human person, human male, And, well, as far as you know, they look human because there's a beard. And they're tall, so they're definitely not dwarf. But they're very, very covered. And the other one seems to be like a short lady, but unsure. Could be gnome, could be halfling, could definitely not dwarf. She's not stocky.
Okay. Because when you first said like two creatures crouching on their hands and feet seemingly stuck in place, my first thought was like, sounds like gargoyles.
In the nothing? Okay.
I know, right?
I mean, it could happen. I could be messed up enough to be like gargoyles.
I walk stealthily up to the nearest sibling and gently tap their shoulder.
They acknowledge you,
And
and
I hand the spyglass to them. Is that anyone you know?
they look. Nobody I know personally, but how they're dressed, they seem to be nomadic, definitely. But I'm more concerned
Any
with.
risk of any risk of making contact?
He scrutinizes them with the eyeglass, and you see his eyebrows furrow, and then you see Van look at him. I don't like it when he does that. It means he wants to save people. Then she quickly doubles back. It's not that I don't want to save people, but sometimes we have a schedule. What is it? What is it, Bureau? Well, sister, they look like they're in trouble, and I think they might be merchants, so it might behoove us to actually help them.
Okay.
You
hold on.
know,
before
tit for tat.
before they're still a ways away. Let me contact them, and I'll get the lay of the land. The rest of you stay hidden for a minute.
Okay.
Also
How
look to
you
Valerius and says, you know, you said nothing changed.
Valerius nods.
I'm going to take a look. And he starts shuffling forward.
What?
Okay. I'm going
Valerius.
to
Okay.
hold on to your. Actually, make me a new stealth check.
In the meantime,
Okay.
Valerius will cast. You said they were exactly 120 feet away, right?
Well, give or take. I will
I
say
cast
that
message.
you can cast whatever. Okay, yeah, that works.
Oh Jesus!
How do you cast? Oh my god, invisible. How does message work for you?
Valerius puts on his helmet. He turns a knob on the side of the helmet with the antenna on it, and it telepathically shoots a message into their brain.
Bureau, who has his eye on the spyglass on them, excitedly looks up. Still eye on the eyeglass, and then gives you a thumbs up. And then you hear back in your helmet. If you're going to try and help us, can you do it quietly? We found a crevasse, or other. The crevasse
I
found
see.
us. You cannot see him. He gone.
Ah, God damn it. Okay, I will just get onto my floating carpet and float over so I don't cause any more cracks in the surface tension.
I'm
Float
going to-
directly in front of them.
I'm going to use your stealth check for that. Are you letting them know that you're approaching?
I mean, I will send another message saying that, okay, we're here to help. We'll get you out of this. So I'm not hiding the fact that Valerius
Okay.
is stealthing.
Okay. You're
He
just
just floats
stealthing to
over.
not make noise.
Yes. But
Okay.
Valerius does, like, halfway through, he does attempt to whisper just loud enough for Ghost to hear. It's like, Ghost, stay back. If you move forward a bit too much, you might accidentally trigger the crevasse to widen.
Oh, make me a stealth check.
Okay. It is
Okay,
a 16.
23. You whisper
Sorry,
that.
it's a 23, my bad.
Wait, you're.
I
Oh,
forgot.
yeah, Floaty. Floaty is helping all the time. 23. Thankfully. But with the bare whisper surrounding you as you get closer and closer to the couple, you feel bits of rock start tumbling.
Uh-oh. Okay, Valerius
But-
thinks it's fast then.
Not enough to cause any avalanche or not enough to break. You're just very, very sure any noise would be really bad.
Okay, Valerius floats all the way in front of the couple, gives them a wave, wills the floating carpet to not touch the ground while he pulls out his portable hole, opens it, and tells them to climb in.
They nod very quietly, slowly, and painfully slowly to not make any amount of noise. I have to make a check for them. Let's please do well. No, they didn't do well. They attempt to move closer to the hole, but their shoe, which has
I
a
flash your
blade,
genius.
there's two of them, and one rolled a 4, the other one rolled a 2.
Damn it.
Thank you for giving me your sway. Voila.
Sad life.
The knife that most people use to make sure they're secure against a cliff face scratches the ground, and as it scratches, more bits of sand and dirt come tumbling down. But you also see a crack form at the side of the crevasse near where they sort of in front of them. What did I say? How far was it? Like 30 feet away or something?
It was like 20 feet in front of them.
Okay, 20 feet in front of them.
Okay, I'm sorry to interrupt, but while this is happening, can Valerius cast Mold Earth in an attempt to delay the cracking?
I want to say mold earth is quiet, but it's not.
It's just somatic though.
No, as in the movement of earth itself
Ah, okay.
is not a quiet process.
Damn it, if-
Ghost will hunch himself where he is, and he's prepared to make a sprint and grab if needed.
Okay.
If only if I had control shape water instead, I could just freeze the ground.
Exactly, fun times. But you are there. It's just that they are painfully aware that they cannot move at the moment. And then one of them looks at you with the eyes of do that magic thing again, magic man. The talky one.
Oh, okay. Message is, are you guys okay?
At the moment we're fine, but the thing is, we have what you have with the portable hole, but it fell off the crevasse and it's dangling precariously off. So I think you're the only one who can manage to get it. We'll be very, very pleased, and we'll negotiate terms to assist you in anything that you need. Also, I think that was too many words. I'm just gonna say you keep spamming.
I spam it. Yeah, Valerius just has his hand on the knob of his antennas, just turning it constantly.
My husband and I would be very pleased for you to actually help us. We can't move right now, but we're more worried about our stuff, basically.
Can I send Floaty to just grab it? Or is Floaty not strong enough to grab it?
You don't know how big the thing they're talking about is, and Floaty will have to do stealth checks, so...
I will do it then. Valerius will nod, then just will the carpet to go and grab it.
Okay. You hover over the crevasse. And because the flying carpet is very quiet, it's very easy for you to look down. There's not much light, so make me a perception check. If Floaty is with you, he can sit on the carpet and not do stealth.
Okay, cool. Perception. 16.
16. You squint and look around based on the direction that they're looking, and you think you spot a satchel hanging off. And you look at Floaty, you're like, no, Floaty will not be able to carry that. You don't think.
Okay. How far is it away?
It's about 20 feet down and about 10 feet further away from you, but it gets narrower. So you're doing
I
math.
cast Mage Hand.
Okay, go ahead. Mage Hand can take up to 10 pounds, which is 5 kilos.
Is that enough?
You don't know.
I'll attempt first.
Okay.
So
Uh,
basically, Valerius's Mage Hand is he pulls out another drone that's a bit more sturdier than Floaty and sends it down.
I'm gonna say I'll allow that because Mage Hand technically doesn't make a sound, so I'm just gonna say that it doesn't make a sound.
Okay, cool.
Because Mage Hand's supposed to be ghost.
Tiny drone just propellers down with no sound. Awesome.
It's just like a whisper. It propels itself down towards the bag, and the closer it gets, the more you realize that it's barely hanging on.
Oh crap. Valerius just holding his PS4 controller, hoping to God that he doesn't bang the drone against something.
Make me an intelligence check. Like a flat intelligence.
16.
16.
Should I screw it? I'll flash a genius at 21.
Okay. You know that you don't think it's less than 5 kilos. It's got a
That is safe.
bedroll on it. There's a flask hanging off. You see pockets full of stuff.
Crap. That is a problem. Wait. Hold on a second. What the fuck? I do have shit water. You're so stupid.
Anyway, from behind you, Wendigo, Ghost, what are you doing? You see all of this happening.
Ghost is just hunched down, like I mentioned, and he's ready to sprint forward and grab the tool if anything happens.
Okay, you do
He's
know.
not afraid of falling.
Okay, you do know that there is a portable hole. Valerius, did you close the portable hole?
No, I left it in front of
Okay,
them.
so you know there's a portable hole next to them, and they are rigid, trying to not make a noise. Are you attempting anything or leaving them alone?
Like only if things escalate will he move. Like now is not a good time to try anything silly and heroic and worsen the situation.
Okay. With
Ghost
that,
is patient.
whatever roll you're going to make next to save them or do some sort of action, give yourself advantage because you're prepared. Okay. If anybody turns back to these two siblings, they're just watching intently. They're like, it's like watching a movie. Valerius. So
Yes.
you discovered your shape water.
Hang on. Okay. Since shape water only requires a somatic component, can Valerius just like pull out his freeze ray and just start shooting everything to prevent the shit from becoming worse? Actually, before I do that, can I make a roll to see whether that'd be a smart thing to do first or not?
Okay, first you need water.
Is the ground not mostly ice or snow?
Snow and ice are water, yes, but we need the water to be liquid because you can freeze it. Or you can choose to use the shape water to unfreeze the water.
Now the water will flow too fast and just fall down before I have a chance to freeze it again. Okay. Don't mind me, I'm just going through my character sheet to see what other nonsense I can potentially do.
Go ahead.
Okay, so right now, to recap, the two merchants are directly in front of the hole, and
I wouldn't say directly, like 20 feet away. They can't move. Or they're afraid to move
20
because the last
pretty
time.
far.
Wait,
Yeah,
didn't I put it directly in front of them though?
the portable hole.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I meant the crevasse is 20 feet away, but the hole is
Okay.
wherever you want it to be.
Okay.
Okay.
I put it as close as I can to them without disturbing the ground to the point where they can just like, okay, we can settle this ourselves, I hope.
Yes.
And now this. We have to get this thing. So it is okay. Hang on. Okay, how far am I from the top of the crevasse?
You can be hovering straight above it, like an inch above, if you feel like it. Or
What I mean is, if I were to lower myself down to attempt to grab this bag, how far would I be down the crevasse?
Since it narrows down, so the opening is 10 feet.
Okay.
Where the bag is about like a foot wide. But for you to get to the foot wide, the gap doesn't allow you to float down too deep. I would say there would be a distance between your carpet and the bag of about 8 feet.
Oh, Jesus Christ, Valerius cannot stretch himself 8 feet. Hmm. Okay. Valerius will fly out of the crevasse while he radios, I'm gonna go fashion something, stay put. So he flies away so that whatever sound he makes from pulling shit out of his bag doesn't trigger an avalanche or whatever the fuck.
Okay, you
He
see
pulls out
the siblings call towards you as well because they want to know what's going on.
I radio to them and I info dump everything that's happening, and I ask one of them if they have a climbing hook.
Let me roll a D100. Twice.
If they have a grappling hook, that'd be better.
They don't have a grappling hook, but they do have. I say they. One of them has a climbing set.
Okay, Valerius like hovers over to them, grabs the climbing hook, and he fashions a fishing line. Basically, his idea is he's gonna fish for the bag.
I mean, you have rope, and you
Yeah, I have rope.
python.
I have python.
And
well, that's why I wanted to ask them for the python.
Yeah. And you've done way more complex things than just making a rudimentary large fishing hook. So I'm gonna say yes.
Okay.
No
Goes back
rolls
over.
needed.
Goes back over to the thing, and I'm relaying all this information to the merchants, and if I can see when they go, I will relay this information as well.
I'm going to stick to the natural 20 with the 29.
Okay. Valerius
The
floats down.
Samoyed is Disappearo.
The Samoyed is Disappearo. Okay. Valerius floats down as much as he can.
Okay, you reach 8 feet away from the bag, and you now see the piece of shard that the bag, one side of the bag, is precariously hanging off.
Oh, I just
ever
had an
so
idea.
gently.
Okay, I get Floaty to hook onto the python, like hold on to it, and I'll get Floaty to guide the damn thing down so it doesn't just free fall and catch onto anything.
Okay, I would say that as a DM, Floaty needs to make a stealth check. Your mage hand does not.
Yeah, I'll use the mage hand instead. I'll use the quieter drone.
Good lad. I'm just saying, in case you forgot.
I did, thank
Does
you.
Floaty still have the bells attached?
Yes.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Okay, yes.
Yes, the
But the
quieter
bell,
drone.
the bell thing only sounds when it hits actively against something. So Floaty is not hitting like the side of the table.
Okay.
So it's fine. It's just a ball sack hanging off a drone.
Okay, the smaller, quieter drone goes down.
So tell me how this happens, because I'm going to paint you a picture a mental image of what this bag is doing. It's a backpack. It's one of those backpacks that you use to travel. On top of the backpack is a bedroll. And then you have a backpack loop for you to carry with one hand. And then you have 2 shoulder straps. One shoulder strap is hanging off the shard of the crevasse wall.
Okay, so Valerius has the length of rope in one hand. He pulls out the smaller, quieter mage hand drone out from his pocket. He attaches it to the python, and then with his other hand, he cues up the control mechanism on his helmet to guide the drone all the way down so that the python part can catch onto the hand grab that allows you to carry the bag one-handedly.
Mm-hmm.
And once that's been pulled taut, while Valerius is very slowly like pulling on the rope to make it taut, he's gonna wheel the fucking carpet to fly out of there.
Okay. No checks needed because mage hand do mage hand thing. You feel a tug, the mage hand telling you, yes, it is secure.
Okay, I float.
You float up. I need you to do what skill check would be good to gently tug it up without causing any noise. Huh.
I say dexterity because Valerius
Maybe
needs to
slay of
finagle.
hand.
Sleight of hand, yeah, that works.
Okay, do me a sleight of hand. With advantage. Well, at advantage, so you roll normally.
Okay.
Because you have your...
Flash of genius.
Okay.
19.
19. It raises up. And as soon as you raise it up, you're watching it intently. As soon as you relieve the pressure of the bag, you feel that it pulls you down at 12 kilos.
Oh crap, I willed the carpet to go up faster.
Okay. As soon as it goes up, you feel that chunk of ice where that shard sits on immediately crumble to the bottom and begin cascading down, causing noise.
Uh-oh. I, as quickly as I can, reel the whatchamacallit, the bag up once. While it's still being reeled up, Valerius is gonna wheel the carpet towards the hole that he placed earlier.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's go for initiative.
Okay. Valerius has advantage on initiative rolls.
Yes. Init.
I forgot to click.
Good
Well,
job.
that's not
I
gonna
have
click
to remove all clear. Okay, I just want to know who is going first, who is going second.
Valerius goes first, then 22.
Okay,
Yeah.
very good. In that case, Valerius, what are you doing?
Okay. Valerius is rushing over, wheeling the carpet towards the what's it called? The portable hole, and he's gonna urge the couple to get in. And once, despite the thing is already crumbling already, he's gonna urge them to get in. And once they're in, he's just gonna take the thing, grab onto it, and just fly off.
I just need to check something really quick
Okay. Sure, take your time.
because I think there's a
snag in the plan.
There's a thing that will probably make you cry.
Oh crap. Does the hole need to be rolled up first before I can move it?
Jump. It might be me misremembering. Give me a second.
Okay. He's concerned.
Nope, you're good. You can use an action to close a portable hole.
Okay. Thank God.
Okay.
I do that.
Okay.
If once they're in. A whole action to close a hole once they're in. Then I zao.
Alright. Let's see. This makes a decent amount of noise since you're hassling them, essentially. Thankfully, your friends are quite far away. Yep. Make me a perception check, both of you.
If Floaty's helping, do I get a normal roll?
Sure.
Finally.
24.
A decent number. Funny enough, that's still just a base of 12.
Ghost 19. Both of you start to see crumbling from the crevasse one, and you also see the crack that started at the front of the crevasse where the people used to be spread out and begin to fall in. The sound also calls bits of snow and slush from a nearby hill to begin tumbling. You realize what is happening. You also know that you have to leave fast, or you have to make your way to some kind of hole to shelter yourself. You have to do something. Wendigo, survival check with advantage because you have done this many times.
Yep.
Okay. 17.
17.
That's good enough. How would you like to make sure nobody gets buried?
Okay, did the couple get into the hole already?
Yes, the couple is in the hole. You still got the Chuckle twins behind you, the siblings.
Okay. Ghost was ready to sprint, so Ghost will sprint and grab them instead. And okay, seeing where the avalanche is coming, he will. Okay, he will try to relocate to higher ground away from it,
Mm-hmm. Easy
since
enough.
the avalanche can't bury you if you're higher.
At this point, you're no longer stealth because you're running. So Valerius,
Yeah.
you see the giant ghost just
Okay.
bound over to the siblings, pick them up, and now they're holding on for dear life, like baby monkeys are wont to do with their parents, as Ghost continues to run to a different high point that is not in threat of collapsing.
Okay. I rush over to where they're going, and I pull out one of my dirt manipulator guns, and in an effort to help them, I will mold the earth around them to form some sort of a barrier so that the snow gets dampened a bit when it hits them.
We are above the snow level.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, already? Okay, cool. All good then. Village just flies over.
You're good. You're
then.
good. How fast is the carpet?
Wait.
Because you're closer to ground zero than Ghost was.
It flies at a speed of 80 feet.
80 feet. Okay, that's not terrible. You get 80 feet
Well, it's
away.
higher. It's higher speed than a level 30 monk theoretically could be.
That is true. I told this to Joe. As long as the carpet is not used for combat, I won't give it HP and
Thank
AC.
God.
Mm.
I don't think this counts as combat. So just
This
fly
is not
away.
combat. This is not combat. This is fun stuff that the terrain makes you do. Because lol.
Yeah.
Valerius, you make 80 feet away, and as you reach the 80th feet, that is when a cascade of snow and ice begins collapsing around you, and you realize that you find yourself on top of a very, very big sinkhole.
Uh-oh.
You keep moving. You have plenty of time. They won't suffocate. It's fine. You have 10 minutes. But you look
There's
around at how wide this sinkhole is, and you're like, maybe 150 feet across. You're not even sure how deep it is or how this happened.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
And if you're not
Okay.
on a carpet right now, you would be
Oh.
in the darkness.
Hilarious would have been in trouble. Okay. Hilarious floats on over to where Ghost is and the two siblings are. And voice out when he gets close enough. You guys alright?
The siblings are pale.
Hmm.
Well,
Ghost will
with
just respond. Uh, This is usual.
This is usual. I've never seen a sinkhole that deep and that wide before. Wait, where are the two people?
Oh, Valerius will float down, dismount his carpet, and pull out the hole and open it, letting them out.
They they with relief climb out of the hole, but not before checking to see if the situation is okay. As they turn around to see the sinkhole that they were at, eyes wide, shocked. They are unable to speak as they climb out of your portable hole, and sort of, you know when people try to stand but they're in shock, so they stumble instead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they do that. And then you
guys-
see a wife or the lady hold on to the man's hand, and she's like white knuckle gripping.
Valerius like nonchalantly just pulls out their bag and it's like, here you guys go.
Immediately, their demeanor changes from shock to thankfulness. Thank you so much. Oh my god, if it weren't for you, we would either have lost our stuff, our lives, or both.
You guys are most welcome.
Hang on. She looks around for a relatively flat spot, and then she realizes the flat spot was taken by the portable hole, and she casually folds your portable hole, puts it away. She pulls out her portable hole, opens it, and then she goes, "Well, we don't have our dogs or sled anymore, but at least we have our wares. It's unfortunate, but you know, we couldn't have saved them. Rest in peace, puppies." We're a traveling merchant pair. We sell various things, mostly of the brewing kind. If you're interested in poultices, I'm very bad at that word. Like medical healing kits and things like that. Unfortunately, we have a lot of people asking for healing potions. We do not deal with that, nor do we any magical
Both will
products.
chime up. One thing at a time. Where were you headed?
We were headed to one of the settlements. You can tell they're very uncomfortable in revealing that particular location.
You were just headed home, yeah? Or were you just headed to somewhere to trade?
We're
Can
headed
you
somewhere
get
to trade.
there? Can you get there on your own?
We should be able to now, hopefully, if we don't come across another sinkhole like that. It'll be slow going, but you know, we'll get there. We're usually better at this. You just happen to save us in a really precarious situation. Again, you have our thanks, so please take anything you need from this hole. We have another one that we can show you, but just don't rob us blind. We still have to sell things.
Valerius
Inside,
nods.
you find blankets, you find healing kits, you find surprisingly some gems, but they're not the best gems.
Well,
like you can
it's better
see
than no gem.
you see inclusions in some of them, like they're not completely clear. They're like really like D-grade gems. You see various herbs and spices, and they're explaining to you the herbs and spices. The herbs and spices are what we specialize in trading, considering a lot of people have such bland food in the region, given the situation. But, you know, a little bit of pepper, a little bit of mace, makes do pretty well.
Valerius will reach down and
Uh,
grab one of the medical kits and holds it up to them, waiting for approval.
All yours.
He stuffs it into his bag of holding.
Ghost will turn to Biro and Van. You might want to speak to them. You two might understand each other more. And he steps back.
Yeah, Valerius, after like looking back at the things, he just holds up one last thing to take, which is one of the more I don't know how to say this in English, the more tam gem. The least valuable
What?
one.
The least valuable one. Make me an Arcana check. Because
Okay.
it's very easy enough for you to find because there's like a whole box full of gems. The Arcana 15. You're aware that if you wanted to use this, it would only be usable as powder.
That's okay.
You find you find various emeralds, rubies, no diamonds, unfortunately.
Valerius pulls out a sapphire if there's one.
Yep, you find one. It's
Okay.
very bad quality. It's just bad quality. It's just nah.
Okay. He holds it up and waits for the approval. And once he gets it, he's gonna pick it up and said, "We're gonna take a step back so the two of you can converse about your travel plans
Right.
and not have to worry about us."
We appreciate it. Is that all you're interested in taking?
Valerius looks back and is like, "Well, frankly, no, but that's all I'm comfortable taking."
Much appreciated. And then she turns
Oh.
around to the siblings. She gives a nod to Ghost and just tightens her grip on the guy in assurance because he's still dazed. He's like, "What? Oh, almost died." And they start conversing with Van and Biro. You see Van and Biro negotiate a deal with some blankets and some rations and some herbs. And then you see them mark a place on a map for the couple to go before they go back to their usual trade route. Anything you guys want to do while you're waiting for them? They're going to probably take like 20 minutes.
Valerius will.
Ghost will look to Valerius.
Mm-hmm.
You alright?
Valerius nods. Yeah, we've been in stickier situations before. Oh, good.
Agreed.
Valerius looks over at Ghost. I'm gonna fly up and make sure no one is looking at us or anything is creeping up on us. He passes Ghost. He passes Floaty to Ghost, and he starts floating up.
If you do that, you roll perception at
Stealth?
disadvantage.
Oh yeah.
Are you okay with that?
Yeah, I'll take a risk.
Okay. Roll me stealth. Roll me perception.
Stealth chart. Perception. 14.
But that's okay. You look around. You observe the fauna. You realize that the collapse has pushed many of flying creatures away from the area, leaving the area quiet. It's very funny because you've had like the past morning and yesterday it was loud, rankus, wind blowing blizzard. But today, sun is shining. Well, sun is shining if you discount the fact that there's dark clouds all the time, but it's quiet. There's no gusts of wind. There's no howling. So for the first time, you don't hear any animals either. Any flying ones, at least, because they have all scattered.
Okay.
You look around for any signs of intelligent life that are focused on you.
He just does a sweep with the spyglass. It's like, okay.
So far, nothing. You feel like you're good. You're good. It would be also good to mark this on the map.
Mm-hmm. Valerius pulls out his tablet and he draws a big fuck off hole. After a while, once Valerius has noticed that the siblings and the merchants are done chatting, he will float back down.
Okay, they're about to conclude their sale per se. The siblings have negotiated more stuff to be sent to Snoopy's encampment, but to their war room so that John may take it off their hands. But they've also bought some relatively normal items at a very, very healthy discount. They have more pythons with them, or pitons, however you pronounce that thing. They have acquired 2 more rope, just random stuff. Another water skin, because you can never have enough water skin. They've also managed to acquire a distillation machine to take the ice and turn it into potable water. I'm sure it'll be used one way or another eventually. But they're pretty pleased with themselves because they didn't have this before, and they would have to had made do with putting ice in a pot and boiling it, and hopefully it doesn't have cholera. Things move along, and eventually you're back on your way to Biro's elusive settlement spot. And that is where we're going to stop today. Thank you,
Alright.
everybody, for watching. I hope you guys had a lot of fun and had the doki doki panic attack to see people are dying, and rest in peace the puppies. We will be back next week with hopefully 3 people as Snoopy makes their way back to the team. Thank you and good night. Bye.
Good night. Bye.